And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MTBA live stream. We are here at the 2015 Oceania Championships in Toowoomba, Queensland, Australia. We have crowned Tegan Malloy as the Oceania Women's Downhill Champion. We've crowned Andrew Crimmins as the Under-19 Men's Champion. We apologise for the technical difficulties that mean that we were currently out of action, but we are back live, Pete.
We are, and rider number 17, Christopher Bird, coming down, and he does seem to be rolling past. He's crossing the line with a time of 3:29, and a bike that wasn't really enjoying that run. All right, our next rider down, here he is now, crossing the line with a 3:08 into 5th place. It was number 20, Dustin Mincher from Queensland. But in the hot seat at the moment is Ryan Luton. And coming down now is number 33. We have Matt Hardwick crossing the line with a time of 2:59. So a 2:59 for Matt Hardwick there. Next up we have Froger Robin coming through, number 22. All right, and here they are coming through now, number 22. Robin coming through with a qualifying time of 3:05. Can he beat that? Here he comes across the line with a time of 3 minutes dead. So a 5-second difference between yesterday and today. That track is gripping up really well. We've already seen at the time tumble for the elite women and the under-19 men. And our next rider on track is Ben Forbes, a Queensland rider for Talk Australia, SRAM, Rock Shock and Truvative, and is coming through. He's making it smooth. Oh, big jump. He's crossing the line with a time of 3 minutes dead, putting him into a 6th place at the moment for Ben Forbes. Next up, all the way from Western Australia, we have Carl's Pickersgill, rider number 38.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how good is it to be here in the sun in Queensland? Tell you what, this is Queensland, this is Toowoomba here in southern Queensland country, and we are enjoying downhill action live here in Toowoomba, live on the internet in the first ever MTBA feed, as we see rider 38, Carl Pickersgill from Western Australia with a 2:52.56, taking out the hot seat. Carl Pickersgill to the hot seat.
All right, our next rider through, Jess Sutton, riding for the Riders and Giant Bicycles Australia. He is coming through now, rider number 27. He's ridden this track quite a few times, and he's going to cross the line with a time of 2:56, taking him into a 4th place so far. So number 16 coming through next is Harrison Rebelt.
Yeah, Harrison has had some fantastic results here in Queensland, with one of the standouts being a 4th at the state champs just a couple of years back, into 6th today with a 2:58.65. And Pete, this course with this sun blaring down is just going to get quicker and quicker.
It is, and especially at the moment, that ground is still a bit tacky. The tyres are digging in and they're ripping the time off it at the moment. So these top few riders are just going to shatter their qualifying times from yesterday.
Next rider towards us will be Jack O'Hare. Jack O'Hare did qualify yesterday in a time of 3:02.27, and he is regular on the Victorian Downhill Series. Top 10 finish in Shepparton, and a couple of good finishes in the National Series as well. A 35th in Yuyangs and a 25th in Thredbo. Now remember, when these riders are placing in the 20s and 30s in Australia, we've got some of the best riders in the world in front of them, Pete.
It's not a bad thing to finish in the top 20 in Australia, and coming down with a time of 2:54, that is Jack O'Hare. And he's gone into second place at the moment with a 2:54. Now, any top 20 in Australia, it's virtually top 20 in the world, because we have some of the best. And they're here today, and they're out in their tribe. And next up, we have Hayden Popty, rider number 30, coming through.
Hayden Popty, very, very regular rider in the Queensland Series. Had a stellar year in 2013 on the under-19s, almost unbeaten in 2013. Stepped up to elite in 2014 with some solid top 10s, including a 7th at Canungra. And it's a 2:42 run time right now. Fastest time we've seen of the day, an incredible 2:44.62 from Andrew Crimmins. He's a shot at keeping that for the rest of the run.
Actually, if the track keeps drying out, I think he could. I think he could keep that. If this dries out like it was yesterday, the track will actually start slowing down again. But next up, we have rider number 30. Here he comes now into the last gap. Oh, he's got a flat. That's not the way to finish a run here.
Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a tough day out. Riders training for months and months leading up to the Oceania Championships, only to have one unfortunate rock take out one unfortunate tyre or tube.
And Toowoomba is on a volcanic plug. There are rocks everywhere in this track. They're just under the surface, and after the mud this morning, they'll be just poking through, catching you out as you ride through, and ready to pop a tyre. And here comes our next rider now. It's number 40 crossing the line. Tyler Brooker with a time of 2:51 and taking the lead so far, straight to the hot seat. It's Tyler Brooker.
Wow, that's a great hot seat there from Tyler Brooker. And Tyler, the Kiwi rider, has had some fantastic performances. Took out the national champs in 2014 in Rotorua, and Brooker is now sitting in the hot seat. We'll try and get Paul Vandy to have a word with him.
Talk us through that run.
It's just trying to stay on today. Trying to push it a bit more. But yeah, the track kind of sucks. So.
Totally. Well, we saw you come through the trees and you were brushing the branches and had it absolutely dialed in, so you must be pretty happy.
Oh yeah, pretty stoked to stay on. So yeah, maybe it.
Awesome. Congratulations. Hopefully you can hang in for a bit.
Here comes our next rider now. Coming down, it's Jackson Davis crossing the line with a 2:57 into 7th place there.
And if you're watching at home, we'd love to see you at the National Championships in just 2 weeks' time in Bright. You can visit www.mtb.subaru.com.au and come to our National Championships. If you're not yet an MTBA member, join mtba.com. 2 months of free membership for people who haven't been a member before or in the last 3 years. Join up now, experience the benefits. That is joinmtba.com, your national body delivering your national series, delivering coaching, commissarying, education courses and so much more all around the country. The next rider towards us
is Andrew Cavey, a local rider here in Toowoomba. He actually grew up at the top of the track, so if anyone knows this track well, it's Andrew Cavey. He's stepped up to the elite this year. He was doing well in the under-19s round in the State Series and National last year, but coming down to give his home track a go for the Oceanias for the first time. Oh, and this looks bad. He's got a flat. Poor Andrew, he's coming down, first chance, and he's got a flat front by the looks of it too.
Yeah, flat front and bike handling, even for riders at this level, difficult on a flat front. Give him a round of applause as he comes in, ladies and gentlemen. It's a tough day out for the local.
Poor Andrew, he would have expected more, but even with a 3:26 with a flat front, that's pretty impressive. All right, our next rider through is David McMillan for Specialised Bikes and Deity Components. And he qualified with a time of 2:58, so it'd be good to see what he can do here.
And the Cork rider, a regular in the Cork series, he's through and it's into the hot seat with a 2:51.04. 2:51.04 for Dave McMillan. Awesome ride, Dave.
I'm starting to think, looking at these times, the track's stabilising a bit. They're going to have to try that bit harder to get more out of it, because I don't think it's giving up the tacky like it was about half an hour ago.
I tell you what though, how exciting is it to see this hot seat fall and fall again as we have Paul Vandy with Dave McMillan.
Dave, you just mentioned gears weren't working, but you're still in the hot seat. How's that happen?
They were just playing up a little bit, but it's still fun. Just try to tuck and keep it smooth, and it worked out right.
Obviously pretty clean, and the conditions were a bit faster out there than they were yesterday for seating.
Yeah, it's a lot tackier now, but this morning it was a bit of a struggle, but yeah, it's all good now.
Awesome, congratulations.
And we just saw Ben Dengate come through into third with a 2:51.74. Just 15 riders left at the Oceania Championships. This is the last event. Of course, yesterday morning, Rebecca Henderson, the Oceania Women's Cross Country Champion. Yesterday lunchtime, her partner Dan McConnell, the Men's Cross Country Champion. This morning, Paul Vandy, who's on the mic with us, took out the Eliminator, and this is the downhill. Tegan Malloy is your elite women's downhill Oceania champion. Who will it be in the men, Pete?
Well, we've still got to reckon on Jared Graves. Local knowledge and the way he rides, you just can't put it past him. But he does have his teammate, Richie Rood, here, and Connor Fearon as well, Chris Kovarik. So it's a tight field for that top spot.
Okay, Daniel Mielink through towards us into the hot seat, ladies and gentlemen.
He's taken it with a 2:47. First rider in the 40s for the elite men so far.
Wow, this time falls and falls, and in fact that's very close to one of the fastest of the day. Do need to give a big thank you to Telstra Countrywide, who are powering our live stream and powering this event. So Telstra Countrywide and Telstra Countrywide Toowoomba for their support of this event and allowing the live stream to get out as we have Paul van der Ploeg with Daniel Mielink.
Daniel absolutely killed that run, sub 250.
It's a lot faster out there, I think, than the times we've gone.
Yeah, for sure. The rain's made it pretty fast and tacky, bit of hero dirt. I saw you come bouncing through. You look like you're having a blast in that last section.
Yeah, I was on my bike, just got here for that run. I got lost in transit.
Okay, thank you for that, Paul. As we look towards the track for Matt McCorkle. Matt McCorkle, the son of Phil McCorkle, one of our world's team, into 6th place for Matt McCorkle with a 2:52.85. Next up from WA, Mitchell Bryant, seated in a 2:55.93. Regular rider in the Western Australia Peel Club Series, has a couple of top 10 finishes, including a 4th at Goat Farm, the famous Goat Farm track in April last year. And the time to beat, currently a 2:51 of Dave McMillan. 2:47 of Dave McMillan, sorry, that is a 2:47.17 of Daniel Mielink.
And here he comes down now, down the last section of track. He's doing that smoothly. He's coming in to the last section. Oh, a bit rough offline there, but he's crossed the line with a 2:54 into 7th place for the elite.
So Daniel Mielink, the Kiwi rider, sitting in the hot seat. and we have just 12 riders left. Next up, it is James Maltman.
Yeah, I haven't seen him ride for a while, but good to see him back on a bike, and be good to see what he can do, because he qualified with a time of 2:55, and well, I still think the track's a bit quicker today, so we'll see what he can do.
Look, Maltman was a very, very fast junior with some amazing results at the national and international level as the junior.
And if you look at him at the moment, he's coming through there quite smooth. Oh, foot out, stamps it as he comes into this last section. Big jump into the gap, big gap. Here he comes, and he's crossed the line with a 2:47 into second place.
And that is only 0.16 of a second off the fastest time of Daniel Meelink there. So it's starting to get tight. Maltman in second, Meelink in the hot seat, and next up it is Reese Atkinson. Reese Atkinson in Thredbo had a DNF, and we saw him as well last year across the country. Some great results in the Cairns downhill, including taking a win in the Enduro.
And here he comes now. Yes, I was there years ago when he had his first run at a national series in Thredbo, and it was disturbing how quick he was. First time ever on a mountain bike, and he's just got better and better. And here he comes now, keeping it quite smooth through that last section.
This is quick. He's keeping it very low and fast.
It would be nice to see if he can do it. I'm not sure he's going to. He's coming in to the last gap now. Here he comes. Boost that gap, and he's crossed the line with a time of 2:51 to take a fourth place at the Oceanias here today. That's Reese Atkinson.
Okay, next rider towards us, Jordan Proshera. Jordan Proshera in Thredbo with a 48th, but a much better result in the Yuyangs of 14th. Took a win in the state champs in WA last year, so the reigning WA state champion is Jordan Proshera, seeded in a 2:54.35. He'll need to go 8 seconds faster than that as we see him moving through the trees now.
That's right, he's coming in. We've got a few berms with jumps in there, but it is quite smooth and flowy through there, and he's making it look quite smooth indeed. He's pedaling into this last section. Oh, nicely gripped into that turn, into the last section, the last gap, and he takes the gap, and he's crossed it with a 2:49 into third spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan was our 10th last rider. If you're in the village, make your way to the finish bowl or make your way up to the hill. If you can hear us in the rock garden, we know that you're loving the Toowoomba track. We know you're loving being here in Queensland for the Oceania Championships. Jake Newell from New South Wales is next, seated in a 2:53.81, riding for the Edge Cycles.
Now most of the, here he is now, he's on the last section coming through. And we'll see, he's just flowing it down nice and smooth, keeping it steady. Here he is into the last section now. It's Jake Newell, and he's coming down, hitting the gap and crossing the line with a time of 2:51.
8 riders left, and it is still the New Zealander in the hot seat. Daniel Meelink in the hot seat. Paul Vandy, can we grab a word from Daniel as to who he thinks the big challenge will come from?
So Daniel's just been telling me that was the first run he's done on his actual bike. He hired a bike and he's been riding that all week. But who do you think the biggest competitors are?
Actually, the big dogs like Connor and Jared.
Yeah, for sure. Jared, local boy, he's looking rare and ready to go on his trail bike with a big downhill fork. But yeah, it should be good racing, obviously.
Yeah, I'd say minus the trail will still kill it.
And we've got Lindsay Klein, the Queensland rider, now on screen. Thank you for that, Paul and Daniel. Lindsay Klein is looking quick as he hits the final jump. It's going to go top 5. It won't go quite into the lead. It's third with a 2:49.04. 2:01 for Lindsay Klein. And Pete, we have just 7 riders left.
We do, and it's going to get quite interesting. Lindsay has some local knowledge himself. He helped build the trail here all those years ago. But next up is Bruce Moir, and he's from New South Wales, and he qualified with a time of 2:51. So it'll be good to see what he can do at the moment with the track the way it is.
Oh, the track the way it is. We're loving being in Queensland. More than 1.7 million people from around Australia visit Queensland every year as we see rider number 15, Bruce Moir, keeping it smooth and quick in this bottom section. The tough section, that's what does the damage. The bottom section, you've got to maintain the pace to try and make the best of what you've managed to look after at the top, if you like. Graves was telling us how hard it is. This is another one that's going to go top 5. And it's 3rd place there for Bruce Moir, Pete.
Yeah, he's just knocked Lindsay out of that 3rd place there, but he's done it well with a time of 2:48. That's pretty good. But they're going to need to be smooth through that top section. There's a shaly section that as it dries out, there'll be rocks getting dislodged. There'll be bit nasty in certain spots. You'll come around corners, you could find anything from the size of a tennis ball up to a severed head sitting on the track. But you never know. We'll soon see what happens. Here comes our next rider now. It's Todd Madsen from Western Australia coming down the track. I met him the other day on track while we were setting everything up, and he is actually quite smooth coming through here now, and fast by the looks of it. Let's see if he can hold that speed all the way down.
Todd's best result of 2014 was one of the wins in the Victorian Downhill Series, the hotly competitive series. And Todd is going to go into the top 5 as well. 2nd place for Todd with a 2:47, and Meelink's time survives again and again.
He's done well with that time, but it's getting close, and it's going to get closer for these last few riders now. Graham Mudd, the next rider up, man with the most appropriate name from earlier this morning, but we'll see how he can do riding for Lusty Industries and Orange and TLD today. Here he comes now out of the rock garden, and the kicker, he's coming down through the far section. There are some exposed rocks in there that will do damage if you go offline, but he seems to be absolutely flying.
Your top 5, Lindsay Klein in 5, Bruce Moir in 4, Maltman in 3, Madsen in 2, Meelink in the lead as Graham Muddy Mudd from New South Wales hits up towards the finish. You can't miss him in the bright red kid. He's going to go quick. Give him the hot seat. 0-1, 2:45.90 for Graham Mudd. He was the number 1 UCI seeded rider when we came into this weekend, and he is in the hot seat.
This is going to get even closer, and right at the pointy end, which is what we need. We've got Chris Kovarik next to come through.
Chris Kovarik has been racing mountain bikes for a long time, and last year some great results in Whistler for the Fat Weekend. He took away the win. He was 2nd place in the air downhill at Crankworks, and he is on course now.
And he is coming through really smooth. Look at him go. He's absolutely flying down there. And he's going to come through this last section. And the way that time's going, it's going to be close. Can he do it? We'll soon find out. Here he is into the last gap. And he's going to cross the line with a time of 2:44. He's taken the lead, and he has matched the fastest time we have had today so far. That's Chris Kovarik into the hot seat.
Oh, we never got a chance to have a chat to Graham Mudd, and Chris Kovarik takes over the hot seat with just 3 riders left. Connor Fearon, Richie Root Jr. and Jared Graves. Of course, we do have to mention Richie Root Jr., the American rider, the teammate of Graves. He can win the race, but just like Bouchard, he cannot be the Oceania champion as a rider from outside the continental region, Pete.
And we have Connor Fearon on track at the moment, and he is coming down, and he's coming down quick. That is smooth, actually. That's smoother than an ECG and a morgue, but look at him go. He's coming through these last few corners, and let's see what he can do with the time.
Connor Fearon inside the top 20 in the world, even despite an injury, and he's got the hot seat. Absolutely no question about it. 2:40.16, the fastest time of the 2 days of the championships. Connor Fearon in the hot seat.
That is quick. We may yet see a sub 2 minute 40 here for the last two riders. Richie Rude on track very soon.
If you're watching the stream at home, this is brought to you thanks to Mountain Bike Australia. If you're not yet a member, www.joinmtba.com. Costs you absolutely nothing for 2 months membership of the national body. Connor Fearon, Connor ahoy hoy in the hot seat, and it is Richie Rude Jr. on course. I tell you what, Pete, Jared Graves picked it earlier today. He said it would need to go sub 240 to win. Right now, we're 0.16 out of that.
It's going to be very close. And on track at the moment, it is his teammate for Yeti Cycles, Richie Rude, coming through. And he is absolutely nailing it. I think he could even do a sub 40 right now. Here he is. It's going to be close. Oh, he's taken the hot seat, but it's a 240.1.
0.01 of a second faster than Connor Fearon. 0.01 of a second faster. We're going to keep them both in the hot seat because we have the race hot seat of Richie Rude Jr. and the Oceania hot seat of Connor Fearon. Ladies and gentlemen, the only rider left on course here at the 2015 Oceania Mountain Bike Championships is Jared Graves.
And it's his local track, and here he is on screen. He's just come out of the rock garden, and he is on fire, if you look at him. Absolutely pinning it down the hill. Last time something got pinned that hard, I think it was a voodoo doll.
Jared Graves, the Swiss Army knife of mountain biking, spoke to him yesterday. He's comfortable with that title. He's talented in BMX, in cross country, in four-cross, in mountain cross, in downhill. He's stood on the world podium, and he's coming through now, Pete.
He is, and the clock is just ticking over. I'm not sure he's going to do it. And he's not. He's third place for Jared Graves with a 2:42.3. That means Connor Fearon has taken the Oceanas here at Toowoomba for 2015.
Ladies and gentlemen, by 0.01 of a second, Richie Rude Jr. is the winner of the race, and Connor Fearon has stepped out of the shadows of many of the elites above him and before him, and he will now race around the world as the 2015 Oceania champion. Paul van der Ploeg is going to grab an interview with Connor Fearon.
Connor, you must be super stoked to get one over Jared here for the Oceania title. Talk us through your run.
Oh yeah, I was a bit nervous at the top because I only had one practice this morning and I didn't really know how it was going to be, but the track was pretty much perfect. Like, it was the grippiest it probably could be, so couldn't really ask for much more and had a really good run, so stoked.
Awesome, yeah, from what I saw you were absolutely flying through the last section, and yeah, obviously the trail was in perfect condition, and you come away with a win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Connor Fearon with Paul van der Ploeg, two of the best riders we have in two different disciplines. And ladies and gentlemen, your top five. Graham Mudd, 5th place. Chris Kavarik in 4. Jared Graves with the silver medal. Jared Graves with the bronze medal. Connor Fearon with the silver medal and the Oceania title. And by 0.01 of a second, Richie Rude Jr., the teammate of Jared Graves, takes out today's race. How good has it been in Toowoomba, Pete?
It's been good, and to see a race end with 1/100th of a second, that's got to be, we can't ask for more than that. But Richie Rude taking away a few bragging rights there before the start of the EWS series this year.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this event would not have been possible without the support of Tourism and Events Queensland, who are proud to partner with Mountain Bike Australia and CA to host the 2015 Oceania Mountain Bike Championships and then the final leg of the Australian Mountain Bike Series over the weekend. It's been an absolutely huge 2 days of racing. We've crowned Rebecca Henderson, Dan McConnell, Paul van der Ploeg, Tegan Malloy and Connor Fearon as the elite Oceania champions across 3 disciplines of cross-country, downhill and eliminator. If you're not yet an MTBA member, joinmtba.com is where you can become part of the fun. We'd love to see you at our national championships in Bright in just 2 weeks' time. Entries are open at mtb.subaru.com.au, and we will be moving very shortly, Pete, to the presentations to wrap up the Oceania Championships.
Looking forward to it. It has been a good weekend so far. It's great that the weather has held off. It is closing in, but we don't really care at the moment. But it's been a cracking day of racing.
Oh, it's been absolutely sensational. And ladies and gentlemen, that does wrap up the first ever MTBA live stream. Do you want the exciting news? We're coming to you live again from Bright for both the cross country and the downhill. We can't wait. We want to thank hugely the crew at MTBA, the staff, the committee, and every member who has helped make this possible. This has been the MTBA live stream of the 2015 Oceania Championships Downhill Finals.